Are you ready for another season?
Yeah, definitely excited. After off season and then OTAs, training camp, preseason, it's great just to be preparing for another team, getting ready for the season, and especially with this group, with this coaching staff, I'm super excited.
Bryce, what was it like to find out you were named a captain?
It meant a lot. It's definitely an honor. It was something that we voted on as a team, so that really means a lot to me. Something I definitely take a lot of pride in, and something that comes with a lot of responsibility as well. I have to make sure that lead by example, make sure that I'm leading the team, the entire captains are. That's our job, to make sure that we're consistent, we're leading, and that's something that I'm gonna have to continue to do every single day. So huge honor. I'm super grateful for it, and again, it comes with a lot of responsibility.
Bryce, you dealt with this last year. Just what sort of level of urgency is there opening with a division opponent?
Yeah, a ton of urgency. Going up against a really good team and a really tough environment, and like you said, it's a divisional game. Obviously, we know how important those are, and just in this league. There's no easing into it for us. We have to make sure we're at our best on Sunday.
Bryce, for you, what would make Week 1 a success for you?
A win. I mean, I think that's what we all play on Sundays for. Doing whatever it takes to win games. We got to make sure right now. Again, it's Wednesday. We have to, we had to go out and earn in practice. We have to keep doing that throughout the week. We had to do everything we can to attack our meetings. We have a long way until Sunday, so we have to make sure we're at our best there, and that's really where our focus is. But ultimately, of course, that's the goal for every week.
Bryce, we kind of checked in on you throughout various points of the offseason is like, hey, how different was it a year ago? Now, looking back kind of on the eve of Week 1, kind of take me back to maybe your thoughts or your nerves and maybe how different that is now as opposed to a year ago.
Yeah, you get a year of experience. Obviously, you get used to get used to the NFL. Obviously, it was this time last year. It was different. It was my first time playing an NFL game. I have a season under my belt now, so know a little bit more what to expect. But also know that again, know the importance of preparation. Know the importance of making sure that we're executing throughout the week so they can lead into Sunday. So right now, really, it's just all hands on deck for that.
Are there nerves?
I think it's just more feeling anxious about the game. Obviously, again, there's a long list of things we have to do. We have to do to get ready, but you get anxious to want to play. Throughout the whole off season, when the first game is. So there's there's always that kind of internal mini countdown of we're almost there. So for me, it's definitely making sure that I'm taking it day by day, making sure that I don't get too far ahead of myself, because you definitely want to just wish it could start, wish we would go out there. I think we all feel that. All good. Wish for it to come, but we still have work to do.
Him out. When Dave Canales was in here, he, on the identity topic, mentioned we don't know yet, we're still becoming. But what do you see taking shape with this team?
I think really for us, just the mentality of showing up to work every single day. And again, to echo what Coach said, we have to keep earning it, keep proving it, keep coming into ourselves, but making sure that it's something that we can, from whether it be plays, drives, whatever it is, making sure that we can take things the next play at a time, make sure that we can keep persevering, keep fighting, practices, meetings, making sure that we're focused, and if there's a bad rack or it's a long day, we don't, we make sure that we're still trying to be at our best during every rep. So I think that's something that, we're starting to form, and, you could see taking shape, and again, we still have a long ways to go. But that's one thing that I'm super happy about for this team.
I was curious about the philosophy this year. Do you feel like you didn't run a lot at the beginning of last season, and kind of as the season went on, it felt like you were running a little bit more? What does Canales talk to you about, in terms of escaping the pocket and runs? Do you feel like you'll be running more? What do you think is kind of the philosophy there?
Yeah, for us, in my room, in my position, it's my job to execute whatever the defense gives us. We want to make sure that we're getting through all our progressions, going through reads, not skipping anything. So again, that's something we talk about, and then we talk about the time clock as well. So making sure that when we get past that point, knowing that we're kind of playing on borrowed time, going to have to move, escape, do whatever it may be. So again, it's a play-by-play type of thing. I never go into a game like, hey, I want to get quick through. I don't want to read through my concepts. I always want to do my best to execute the play as it's called, and then you react to the second play.
You're around Deontay a lot and talk to him. What have you seen that kind of we don't see that speaks to his leadership? I know it's quiet leadership, but something we don't see that you see.
Yeah, his consistency, how well he competes. Again, whether it's a camp practice, it's here, it's a Wednesday, it's a scripted thing against scouts. He'll go and dive for balls, go and if there's a contested catch, going up and trying to make it in. Making sure he's getting to the ground and pleading with the ref, it's a catch, and just how you would in a game. Just that game-like mentality that he brings, and also how much he cares about all the guys around him, how much he cares about the young guys. A scout team's up and a young guy comes in and makes a play, or there's a ball that could have been caught or something. So first to go over there and be like, hey, whatever coaching point he may have for him, he's not just in his own world, not just whatever. Whenever my number gets called, I'll go in, run my route, come out. He's engaged, involved, wanting to communicate with everyone. So he's coming back, whether it's good throw or hey, what happened on this one? How are we going to work through this? Did you see it like this? Whatever it is, having that communication, just how engaged he is, on the sideline throughout practice. That like you said, that's huge for us as a team.
What is it like playing in the Superdome? You got to play there last year, and it goes so well. But I mean, the crowd noise and what is that like?
Yeah, we know it's a hostile environment. They have a great fan base. They have a great organization. Great. They've been had a lot of great things there. So again, we know what it takes. We know we're gonna have our hands full. We have to be at our best. We're expecting that. Again, we know the environment that it is. But we have to, throughout this week, earn the right to be able to execute well on Sunday, practice with intent, to do our best to prepare for that, and then, go out there and compete.
Where was the loudest place you played last year?
I don't know, but New Orleans was definitely up there. Really good fan base, really great environment for football. So yeah, again, we know that we have to do everything we can to be prepared throughout the week.
Bryce, after such a long offseason, such a busy offseason, how excited are you to either see what you guys have in that live environment or maybe show everybody else what you have that you know?
Yeah, I think we're all super excited just to go out there and and play together. You have little flashes in preseason, you got joint practice, and those are all great. But be able to put 4 quarters together, the offense and the defense playing off of each other, us trying to play complementary football, special teams, everyone, all that tying in. I think just for us, this year's Panthers team, just to go and take the field is something that we're all super excited about. Obviously, I think every year, you always have different players, different coaches, different. Every year is a new team throughout the league, and this just being an opportunity to have our first chance at a regular season game. We want to come out strong. We want to do all that we can to be prepared for the game, and for us, we're always taking it week by week. So just like every week, this week's the biggest game of the year. Just like it ends up being every week. So super exciting opportunity for us, and I'm excited for Sunday.
I'll go Sharon next.
Their secondary, obviously one of the best in the league. They finished third in the league last year against pass defense. Now they've added Street as well to that group. But what do you see out of them, and what kind of challenge do they face?
Yeah, again, we have a ton of respect for their secondary. Some really great players that played a lot of really good football for a long time. And, again, we know we have our hands full of guys that they compete. It shows up on film, how well they play, how well they communicate. So, again, we have to do everything we can throughout the week, to put ourselves in the best position, compete, and then, know that we have a fight coming to us and on Sunday, and that's a challenge that we love. It's NFL football. It's something that it's definitely a blessing just to be a part of it. So we're excited for the competition.
They did a good job of getting to you last year. New Orleans did. I think 8 sacks in the 2 games. Where was that pressure coming from, and what did they do that kind of gave you guys problems, and where do you feel like you guys are better, where that won't be a problem this year?
Yeah, again, last year is last year. Again, we have a ton of respect for their defense, for their defensive line, for the players on their team. They have really good players. But for me, I have all the confidence in the world in my offensive line. I have a ton of confidence in the scheme we have and the guys up front, everyone who's a part of the past pro game. So I have all the confidence in the world in them, and then my job is just to execute the calls as they're called in.
We got time for 2 more.
Are you tired of hearing about last year?
It's definitely part of it. It comes with the territory, and again, that's what sports is. I fully understand it, but for us as a team, the outside of the media is gonna, whether good, bad, indifferent, whatever it is, always gonna be a narrative, and it's the beauty of sports. Everyone is gonna, there's gonna be talking points, things to talk about. But for us, we know within the building what we're focused on. We're focused on this year, focused on building from, who we are and continuing to show that, to start that, to continue this or start the season, which is, it's exciting for us. And within the lines in the building, out in practice, throughout meetings, which is where we all are for all day. That's really all the focus is. So it's nice.
Bryce, that
Bryce.
being said, saying, okay, put it behind you, move on, is probably a little easier said than done. What do you actually have to kind of do from a mental standpoint to say, this is what happened, this is how it went, now it's time to move on?
Yeah, I think that's something that as a team we've always looked at, we always talked about. You've done the learning part of through last year, through this year. You always every practice, we go, we watch the film, we talk about things, and then we got to turn the page. And I think obviously it's practices and stuff, but you get in that habit of turning the page and knowing that everything resets. And our coaches do a great job of kind of ingraining that in us, and relaying that message of every day being a new day, every day us having to earn that result. And again, whether it be good or bad, we're not entitled to anything. We have to go out and earn it every week, every Sunday. So I think we get in that habit through practices and through our philosophy. And then we lean on ourselves, we lean on our teammates to kind of pull us through that.
Bryce, when you talk about leaning on the teammates, how difficult is it to do that when a lot of these guys are just walking in the door and there are new people kind of coming in pretty quickly? How do you deal with that when there's this much turnover on a roster?
Yeah, it's not hard at all, because the guys that we brought in, they're great guys, great teammates, guys that for us, we all have the same goal. Wherever we were at last year, we all come from different backgrounds, different places, different schools, different that's kind of the beauty of football. So every year on every team I've ever been on, there's going to be shuffling of guys and be different people. That's always how it is. So it's not hard at all, and that's really credit to the guys that are new, everyone who's new, and everyone buying in to really just being focused on this year's team and us being able to do and accomplish what we want to.
Do you know them all?
Yeah. My teammates, yeah.
I just didn't know, because a lot of them, if they're not walking around with a number, sometimes it's still kind of like.
No, that's my teammates. Obviously, when you get guys that come in, the day before, obviously, it starts more with just introducing, and then you kind of learn people. But there's always turnover, and it's great just having new people, having new energy, and I trust the coaches' visions and all the movement that we have.
We're finished with you. Just curious what your assessment was of Saban and college game day on Saturday.
I don't think I saw a ton of the college game day stuff, but I'm sure Saban did great. Was that like I didn't really watch it, but that's my dog. Shout out to Coach Saban. So I'm sure he did great. I'm happy for him. I'm sure he killed it. Did something happen, or was like?
It seems to be loosening up and showing us.
Oh yeah.
FCC, well,
What'd you say?
he only broke one FCC regulation.
He's a the media gets to see for a long time, got to see one side of him, but just like all of us, there's more than one side of people. So I'm glad that side's getting to be shown then.
All right, thank you, Bryce.
Appreciate you guys.